Jay, as you might imagine, A-Rod's admission that he did use performance-enhancing drugs has been met with a variety of responses from baseball fans across the country. Scott Ferrall heard them all on his national show on Sirius XM satellite radio. He joins us now from New York. Scott, I know it's hard to just give us one answer, but how did listeners respond to A-Rod's admission yesterday?
Dana, I mean, you know, I'm on a different kind of channel. I'm on Howard Stern's channel, so it was a little more liberal, a little freer. The opinions were a little bit more shocking than you'd get on traditional radio. They talked about him being a playoff choker. They talked about his fascination with Derek Jeter. They talked about his liaisons in Toronto with dancers. They talked about his messy divorce. They talked about his relationship with Madonna. They talked about that he's no longer a savior for baseball, that he's a liar, that he shouldn't be in the Hall of Fame, that his numbers should be stricken. They also talked about the fact that none of those guys that were embroiled in this, whether it's Bonds, Clemens, Pettit, Giambi, any of the ones that even admitted that they did it, that they should also not be in the Hall of Fame, that he's a fake. And believe it or not, people said, Dana, that I had people that called the show from all over North America, grant you, and some of them were cycle steroid users, and they talked about what it's like to be on it. And they said that this guy knew full well what he was taking, and even yesterday when he talked to Peter Gammons, he was lying. He acted like he had no idea what he was putting in his body. And most of the people said that they knew that if they were injecting things, liquids into their bodies, they knew what they were injecting, or at the very least they asked about it before they injected.
Right, and that seems to be a very common theme of thought that we've heard over the past day. Were there any people that were in support of him saying, well, at least he came out and admitted this now?
Dana, I think that a lot of people realize they blame Hank Steinbrenner for the fact that he had opted out of the contract, and Hank wanted him so badly that he forfeited $270 million in 9 years locked-in guaranteed money with this guy. Fans do not like, and I can in roll call fashion, they don't like Hank, they don't like Selig, they don't like Fear, and they went after all of them viciously last night. I mean to tell you, Dana, for 4 hours solid, I mean, it was just rock and roll, and it was nothing but negative about all of these people. Baseball created this monster, and now they got to live with it, and a lot of people blame Bud Selig, a lot of people don't like Fear, and a lot of people say that they don't like Scott Boras because of his manipulation of the game and the money involved, and that he was schooled brilliantly in PR tactics going into this interview because he came across as Mr. Rogers with his nice little sweater on, and how friendly he was with Peter. Grant you, it was a brilliant interview by Peter, but everyone just didn't buy his act. And he talked about how he wanted to be the greatest of all time. I think they all do, but they realize, my fans, millions of them, that he's a cheater and a liar, and people don't forget that.
Yeah, and you're talking about the blame going across the board. I'm curious, Scott, did you even get one single call of anybody out there saying it's in the past, or A-Rod's now admitted what he's done, so let's move on? One single call that maybe was on the positive side?
I did, Dana. I had fans that just said, look, we're used to this by now. We're not shocked. We're over it. They don't care who used. And in fact, frankly, they don't care if they still use.
How was it split? Scott, sorry to interrupt you. How was it split? I mean, was there a lot between those people and the people that were like angry with A-Rod, angry with the team, angry with Selig? How was the split?
I'd say 80-20, they hate him.
Okay.
And the 20 said that since they have him and they got him for 9 years, and the numbers that he puts up, they just want the Yankees to win. They'll deal with it like they dealt with every other guy that admitted they'd used. They're just going to move on, and they hope he puts up big numbers because they're stuck with him. And a lot of people said they don't care. They want to see big numbers, and they want to see home runs. And if they're going to pay $200 to go to a game in the new Yankee Stadium, or even $800 for good seats with that brilliant new ballpark, they want to get their money's worth. They want to see a lot of home runs.
All right, Scott Ferrall from Sirius XM Radio. Scott, thanks for the perspective.
Thank you very much, Dana. Have a great day.
You too. We've got a lot more coming up on A-Rod, as you might imagine. We're going to talk with a couple writers who have Hall of Fame votes to get their take on